record.
Williams with 4. Everybody on their feet here in Stores. Drive to the hoop. Shot is missed. And a record has been set. From ground zero to 59 conference championships, 23 Final Fours, 11 national championships, win streaks of 70, 90, and 111, and now the all-time winningest coach in the history of college basketball. Geno Auriemma, 1,217 wins in an 85-41 victory here in Stores tonight.
And now, here's Rob Dibble.
So it's Geno's show, or Geno's day on the show today. We've got some sound coming up this segment from, if you missed it, the post-game festivities, which went about an hour. They even dragged a goat out there to show Geno he's the greatest of all time.
I'm sure he loved it.
So they're the same people that we saw over at Laz Parking in Farmington. I don't know God forgive me, but I don't know the name of the farm.
Circle B?
Circle B. Fancy Pants, the Yard Goats,
I hang out with the Yard
herders.
Goats.
Yeah, so Ben's a lot closer to them than I am, but
somebody
they are
told
lovely
me fancy
people.
Sick? Fancy
Not
sick?
fancy sick. I think fancy doesn't get out much anymore.
I think her appearance fee's gone up. That's what I think it is.
You think it's a girl?
I
thought
know
Fancy Pants. You know it's a girl?
I know it's a girl.
I thought it was a boy.
I did too for about a year and a half.
Anyway, the greatest of all time in college basketball coaching is Geno Auriemma, whether it's men or women at the Division I level. He now has the record. Was it 1,217?
1217.
1217. And so Ben's got the audio with Kurt, a bunch of the ones. I thought Diane Taurasi, Maya Moore were two of the best ones. They were all great. But I just think that spoke, I think, for everybody when they were doing a lot of the talking.
So we've got Sue, Maya, Rebecca, and Diana. Let's save Diana for last. I don't know the order of these, but go ahead and shoot us with one of these, Kurt. We'll figure it out once you play it.
My hope for you tonight is that you can look around and really take this in and look at all these faces, because every person in this room has a coach story. Every person in this room has a CD story. They have their own moment where you push them to be better than they thought they could ever be. And that moment was usually followed by us going back to our dorm room or Ted's and having a major vent session starring the two of you. But the truth is, you really created a foundation for all of us to go on and achieve things beyond college, both on and off the court. For that, I am definitely forever grateful. So tonight, we're not just celebrating a number of wins, we're celebrating you two. The people who saw something in all of us, who built something extraordinary out of nothing but belief, and we couldn't be prouder to be a part of your story, because we know your impact goes way beyond wins and losses. CD, Coach, congratulations. Who knew that playing hard, playing smart, and having fun would get you here?
Sue Bird. Shout out Ted's. Shout out.
I don't even know if Ted's still around. My wife knows Ted.
Oh, yeah. They're still doing it down
Anybody
there.
went to UConn.
Yeah. The one thing that I keep on getting from this is, like, man, Geno had no fear about telling these girls the truth. That's what the one thing that I keep on coming back to with all of these big timers like Sue Bird. No fear of telling her.
I think when you talk to so many of the different players that have come through here, and you and I were just talking about this off the air, is so many athletes even today have this entitlement factor because people feed them what they want to hear. Then you get to Chris Daly and Geno, and it's basically a 2x4 in the face
1,000%
of reality that, no, you're not as good as you think you are. And now look out on that court. That is the best of the best. McDonald's All-Americans, whatnot, and let's see if you can even play with them. I mean, that's the reality. And trust me, there's girls that came and left. Been a lot of them. Even since you and I have been working together, there's been girls that get here for a year, don't play enough. I want to go somewhere else. A lot of them never to be heard from again. Because in the end, it's more about them trying to pull the greatness out of you and then you to understand that it is you. and have that self-confidence, and then they go on to do whatever it is you go on to do. But I think it's, when someone gives you that tough love, which is what Geno and Chris Daly do, that's what also the reciprocation is, the victories and the championships and all that. But it's how you respond to adversity, which is what sets you free.
All right, give us another one, Kurt. Just save Diana for the last. I think that one's the best one.
I feel like we're all at a big table just
this is Maya Moore.
Relaxing together, celebrating CD and Coach. This is a family. That's the first thing. I think anyone that is around the team long enough, around Coach or CD, is the word family. And you can't make up family. Family is fought for. Family is forged. Family happens, like Sue was saying, just every day, trying to get better. And I am so grateful to be a part of this Husky family. One of the things that separates, I think, Coach and CD is their faithfulness to come and be fully present, sometimes too present, and just giving us all that we have. It is incredible to come here. We have the pressure. A lot of that pressure we put in ourselves because we want to be great. But just at the right time, Coach or CD will help us to just take that pressure off. Because we do come in as 18-year-olds, we don't know everything yet, even though we act like we do. But they help kind of take that pressure off, but then they also can crank it back up just in that right time. And we become adults. We graduate and we feel prepared to go out into the world. So I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have a chance to be shaped in my young adulthood by you two, Tanya and JJ, having you guys back. So many assistant coaches. Let's give it up for the assistant coaches too. Absolutely. But we're a family. We do it together. And I'm just so proud. I hope you guys can just sit back and look at all 120-something of your babies coming back to family dinner and just feel so good about yourselves tonight. Love you guys.
So great to hear Maya Moore. Yep. She's been doing so much different things in the world.
She's had a baby.
Every single one of these women, just a spectacular human being, and the family aspect of this program, it's so true, man. So true. Like, we feel it, and we're not even a part of it. We're not even a smidgen on the radar of the family of UConn women's basketball, but you can totally feel it when you are around alumni from the 80s with this program and as successful as it's been.
Well, and I think what Maya Moore has gone on to do is some of the social justice stuff, getting her husband out of prison, just shows you that it's a lot more than basketball, that he prepares them as human beings to go out there and think for themselves, speak for themselves and make a difference. And I think that is some of the most beautiful stuff that you see from some of the girls that come back here, and what they're talking about was that preparation. I mean, where else would you send your daughter, your girls, and they're going to play against 7 men in practice? Nowhere. Rebecca Lobo knows that, and everyone who's played through the system knows that. The one thing he's also open about is you can come watch my practices. Not many coaches are that open with the way they prepare to take on anything and everything in their contingency plan. And so that's, and that's why at the end of the season, if you're just listening to this for the first time, they honor the men that actually play against the girls in practice all the time. That's their job, is to be rough, physical, so that when they play 5-on-5 women's basketball, there's no one they can't hang with. And that's been for 40 straight years, that the preparation for whatever they're about to face in a basketball game pales in comparison to their practice.
Here's someone we see all the time, Rebecca Lobo, who does such great work for women's basketball over there at ESPN. Obviously, we're going to hear from Rebecca last night, and she was great as well.
I just want everyone to take a second and to look around, because it's not very often in life where you get to experience something that has never been done before, and it's not very often in life that you get to experience something that will never be done again. And that's what all of you have just witnessed here with 1,217 wins. This is a program that's been built on celebrating teams, celebrating one another, and never celebrating yourself. But tonight we get to step back and let all of us celebrate Coach and celebrate CD and celebrate one another. 11 national championships, 111 games in a row, 23 Final Fours, 15 of the last 16. But the one common thread that all of the players have here is that we are part of at least one win for Coach Auriemma. And the common thread for all of the people that are watching in the stands is you were able to watch at least one of the 1,217. And no matter what, over the course of the last 40 years, whether it's the 160 people who have played for Coach Auriemma or the thousands and thousands of fans who have watched these young women, that one thread will go through us and will unite us forever. And we can all be proud that we were not only members of the UConn women's basketball sorority, the sisterhood, but that we got to play in front of the best fans in the country and continue to do so. And again, just let it marinate for a second that this is something that has never been done before and will never be done by another program or coaching staff again.
Well, that is a good point as far as one program. You know, I never want to take anything away from any of these coaches that hit a milestone of 1,000 wins. But there are so many ones that have done it with different schools. And, you know, that's so hard to get nowadays. And you said, you know, you get success at one school and you walk away, you're looking for another job all the time. And that seems like the way of life. But these two have been here since the late 80s, and they're still doing it the same way they were doing it back then. I think that is one of the most beautiful things in sports now, when everyone changes jobs, everyone goes for the bigger, better deal. And I'm sure, of course, Coach Auriemma has been offered other opportunities, but you know Coach Daly has, especially as a head coach, for her to run her own program and for her to stick around for 38 seasons, 40 seasons. What, it was the Ruby, right?
Yeah,
it's 40 seasons. So incredible what they've been able to do together.
Go back to 94-95. That's what Rebecca Lobo's talking about, the first championship. Yep. They were 35-0, 18-0 in the Big East. Quite a team, by the way, and think about what they've gone on to do. Jen Rosati is the president of the CT Sun. Carla Berube, Jamel Elliott has been with them ever since. Nikisha Sales was on that team. Carol Walters still works for SNY. Yep. And Rebecca Lobo, of course, the captain of that team. I mean, that's what started it all. And I remember in the mid-'90s, I was still in the major leagues thinking, wow, I mean, a small school in the middle of nowhere. My sister went there in the 70s. I remember taking her up there, and it's farmland. You drive into the middle of nowhere, and it's this school, and built back in 100 years ago when it was built was for agriculture. It was never supposed to be such a powerhouse in basketball, and to see the last 40 years built by CD and Coach Auriemma, I truly believe what Rebecca's saying. It'll never be done again because they didn't have the funds. They had to recruit. I love SNY played some great clips during the game last night of Geno talking about, my first recruit was Chris Daly. He goes, and this was to see if I could recruit anybody. This is when he started at UConn. And he said, if I couldn't recruit her, I didn't think things were going to go well. And her saying, yes, she would coach with me, that was his first big recruit, was Chris Daly.
Here's Diana Taurasi, last but not least, as she was just great all night long and kind of stole the show here at the end.
Like Sue, I did not prepare. I really don't know what to say. What can you say to Coach Auriemma and CD that hasn't been said before? The good, the bad, and frankly, the stuff you don't want to hear when you get here. And I think out of everything, I want to thank you, Coach, CD, Tanya, Jamel. You told me all the things I needed to hear to make me a better person, a better teammate, a better basketball player. And all those little things, day by day, week by week, month by month, you start building this confidence that you can be a better person every single day. And I think, as I see everyone here, whether we played on the same team, decades apart, we always put this jersey on to represent you. Because we know how much you love this team, the game of basketball, and your family. Miss A.
Coach's wife. Miss Ariana.
I always remember those conversations in your driveway. We're like, Miss A, I'm done with this man. And you would say, me too, D, me too.
It's Bob Joyce.
Bet you Geno didn't know that.
And like Rebecca said, banners, Hall of Famers, MVPs, champions, players of the years. We always come back because of you, Coach. We come back because of you. And don't you ever forget that. We love you.
So Diana Taurasi's team, 2001-2002, 39-0. National champions, and did it 3 years in a row. That team was Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Morgan Valley, Ashley Battle, Jessica Moore, Swin Cash, one of the greatest basketball players ever to come out of UConn, Tamika Williams, just to name a few on that team. So 35-0 with Rebecca Lobo, 39-0 with DT, Sue Bird, and Ashley Battle, who we have on all the time. She's now a scout with the Celtics. Was flashing her world championship ring, but it just shows you once again that whether you're recruiting from Chino, California, Diana Taurasi, from New York, Sue Bird, out of Pittsburgh was Ashley Battle. I mean, they were great recruiters as well. And not just recruiting basketball players, but great people. And over 120 of them were there last night to share this with Geno.
Awesome scene. All those players, plus the 10,000 strong that were there for the game and stayed for all of those speeches.
And the GOAT.
And the GOAT. Tip of the cap from the GOAT. But, man, like Rebecca said, enjoy it because you don't take this for granted. This does not happen everywhere. And even for 10 years, even for 20 years, even for a year, other programs don't taste this. And I totally believe Ed Cooley's right. UConn basketball fans are spoiled.
And it's saying it for 10 years since I got here.
It's great.
Enjoy it. Get out there. Support it, even when it's a midweek game at XL, whether it's the men or the women. Brandon Lang from BrandonLang.com out in Vegas. He now lives in New York and works for Believe Network as well as an analyst. But one of the best handicappers, one of the best money managers out there. BrandonLang.com next.